Better late than never, so let's jump into it. I'm John Renton with my review WWE NXT No Mercy 2023 from Bakersfield, California. Almost 5,000 people in the arena, and judging by the setup and judging by how the arena looks, pretty goddamn close to a sellout, and they were a rockin' goddamn crowd, a raucous goddamn crowd. They were raucous around the Bakersfield tree, and I don't know the rest of the words, and how I could come up with this holiday song that's coming too soon. So let's just get to the rest of the show. Yes, I know I said I wasn't going to likely review this due to the fact that I wasn't necessarily sold on the card, but after hearing a lot of feedback and the fact that people wanted me to review it, I eventually got to it. I reviewed AEW Collision and AEW Wrestle Dream because I was there live for both of those shows, and I was exhausted and tired. Didn't get a chance to get to No Mercy or even a bit of it after Raw because I was tired. So that's why you're getting this review a few days later. Apologies, but judging by the reaction, this show actually seemed like it might be worth reviewing. And you know what? It was. It was nice to have a crowd into it. And even though I have some thoughts that some people might not like, I have some things that I'll be praising that might surprise some people. So, yeah, the kickoff. Kalani Jordan against Blair Davenport. Blair Davenport could be used to make death masks for everybody till the end of time. It was all right. The crowd was into it. Kalani is not bad. She still needs more training, but she's athletic. Blair's a good heel. I mean, with a face like that only a mother could love it. The mother had cataracts in one eye and was blind in the other. But Blair ended up winning. There was... I don't really know what the fuck her finish was, but Kalani didn't do too bad. Gigi attacked Blair Davenport afterwards. And then we go to the main show. The old N64 No Mercy intro, that was actually pretty cool. There was some good thought put into that. Shawn Michaels having one eye on the past and one eye on the present. So, we have Steiner, yes, Braun Breaker, I know, but Steiner, I just prefer calling him that. And a wolf mask. Don't turn your back on the wolf mask or you might wind up in a body bag. Corbin comes out on a motorcycle, a trike. That was kind of cool. And look, they did some highly athletic stuff and some big man stuff. I will say that this is the least annoying that I found Booker on commentary in a long goddamn time. He was still stupidly, cartoonish, but he was less cartoonish than normal. Maybe that's just because they let Vic Joseph actually be the lead commentator. He's actually good at it. Steiner versus Corbin. There was nothing wrong with it. There was a dive out by Steiner. They battled through the crowd and onto the announcer's table and then in the ring, and then the bell rang with about 3 minutes of action taking place before the match officially took place. Corbin was moving well here. Corbin was getting cheers. It only took them about 9 years of him on television. Later, Steiner, ends up going through the announcer's table, NXT chants, and there were, a little bit more back and forth. Robert Stone jumps, off the top rope because, Steiner took out Von Wagner. And fortunately, there were about 80 security guards there to catch Robert Stone. And then end of days, 1, 2, 3. Corbin beat Steiner. Didn't make Steiner look weak. Made him look kind of stupid, not just letting Robert Stone fall to the ground, but whatever. That being said, it was a fine opener. And then we get Trick Williams against Dominic with Dragon Lee as a special guest referee. It's going to be Mustafa Ali against Dominic, but they released Mustafa Ali, who hopefully will go to New Japan or somewhere where he can get paid well and can actually show that he should have been featured better in WWE. It's for a North American Championship. Look, y'all know how I feel about Dominic. No one is going to live long enough for Dominic to get good in the ring. He gets heat, and then it dies instantly when he gets in the ring. He's basically David Flair with more of a mullet. Trick is a good athlete. He has improved quite a bit. Later, Lee got bumped. The second ref got bumped unintentionally. And Trick checks on Lee. And Dominic has the North American Championship. Trick hits a knee. 1, 2, 3. New champion. As of now, I know that I'm recording this just a few hours before the next NXT broadcast happens. And it's Trick versus Dominic for the North American Championship. Based on what they did at the end of this show, I think that would be, or actually the story they were telling throughout the whole thing with Trick and Mello, it would be really stupid to switch the title, so I expect them to actually do it. So, Last week, apparently Joe Wayne Gacy freed Ava, sent her to be free to do what she wants any old time. Okay, he needs to find himself. Joe Gacy is not a bad athlete, and he's a decent promo. It's just this whole cult leader thing is overplayed. So let's see what else he can do. I'm not as down on Joe Gacy as other people. Skinny Mysterio was able to basically just blister him on Twitter by just being herself, for Taryn does not give a shit, and she will fuck you up verbally, and can. But Joe Gacy's not that bad, and let's see what Ava Braun can end up doing. So, we then screech to a halt with the Creeds versus the Family versus Garza and Carrillo. The Family, by the way, Tony D'Angelo or Tony D and Stax. The Creeds, Brutus and Julius. Noah, stop thinking about Julius. Stop it. Stop it. Get some help. And Bronco and Lucien, they are out the mud. Well, this match couldn't get out of the mud. This match just sank further. 4-way NXT tag title shot. The Family are the tag team champions. I don't know why Tony D was dressed up like the Mountie on Halloween. It was a weird outfit choice. Okay, this whole script Bronco Lucien thing, or Lucius, or whatever the fuck their goddamn names are. I did see the clip of them shooting dice or whatever the fuck they were doing in that alleyway, and boy, it's stuff like that that just makes me think, look, I mean, I already see enough bad shit on Raw and SmackDown. That's why I dropped weekly SmackDown reviews, and I've dropped weekly NXT reviews a while ago. I've only reviewed it a handful of times since the end of June, but good grief. Their big guys are going to need more time. Tony D got taken to the back. Julius lifting and throwing and picking up men like bowling balls. Again, Noah, stop thinking about it. And everyone's down, and the Family wins because Tony D comes from the back after his knee injury, and he wins. So there you go. That's all I got to say. Becky is looking for weapons in a shopping cart. More on that later. Peter Dune with Tyler Bate in his corner against Noam Dar with Metaphor. I have determined that Metaphor is one of the worst goddamn things going today. It's not even the fault of the talent. It's stupid. Heritage Cup match. No. These guys can work. Noam Dar is the size of a chickpea. Peter Dune, at least, I know he's called Butch, but goddamn, Peter Dune is just better. Later, Gallus attacks Bate, and then Joe Coffey attacks Peter Dune, and Noam Dar wins. That was about 15 minutes of a broadcast that this really should have been on TV. I do not get the Heritage Cup stuff, and I just don't care. So, now the big one. Elia Dragonov versus Carmelo Hayes. Number two. Who will win? Will Elia finally be able to get the victory, even though he wasn't able to at NXT Great American Bash when Trick inadvertently used the title and then Elia proceeded to destroy him violently? Will Melo be able to retain with the even odds, even though he didn't ask Trick to help him? Or will Elia finally be able to get the victory? And was this match as good as advertised? Everybody was praising this while I was at Collision. Which, admittedly, I probably actually shouldn't have gone to Collision, because even though it was great to hang out with one of my best friends, the show itself was not good. I probably would have been better off watching this, but how was it? It was good. It was good. Perhaps even great. There were hard strikes and a lot of shit later. This was better than their Great American Bash match. That was good, but it felt like something was missing. Well, they made up for it here, because they hit each other really goddamn fucking hard. The jersey spots with all the opponents' names in the entranceway. That was cool. The crowd was very into this. Very, very into this. Elia is a fucking nut. He does not care about hurting himself or hurting his opponent. I mean, safely, obviously. But it's just he looks like every move he does is with the intent to kill. And like every time he gets hit, he is getting hurt. There was a lot of great suplexes. German series, there was the midair DDT turned into a bulldog because Melo changed his direction. A powerbomb spot. We got, corner DVD. I don't know why. A big old superplex to a pop. We got an H-bomb. We got another H-bomb for 2. We got some outside action. And then a super H-bomb from the top. 1, 2, 3. No, I didn't go into too much detail about some of these spots because this is a match you need to experience this. is the high point of the goddamn show, though. Had this been the main event or whatever, it would have been absolutely insane. But then when I thought about what the rest of the card was, I go, I get why this wasn't the main event, but man, Elia winning, big old reaction. They tore the house down. People that leased the building are going to be really goddamn pissed. They're going to have to rebuild that whole thing. I kid. Good stuff. Well worked. They did the damn thing, as the kids say, I think. So, entrances for Becky. She's got a shopping cart. Entrances for Tiffany. Tiffany with the second most amount of pearls on a Dirty Blonde that I've seen, except for one movie online once by mistake. That's all I'm going to say. So, Becky versus Tiffany. Extreme Rules match for the NXT Women's Championship. Now, obviously, they weren't going to top the wrestling action of the first two, so they just had to go full on nuts. I saw a lot of people praising this match. And I know it was basically to show that Tiffany is tough-any, as it were. She, took a lot of hard shots, was bleeding above the eye, and Becky and her had a better match on NXT TV. Didn't like it. Didn't like it one bit. If I don't like all the weapons and every single weapon being pulled out from under the ring and all this stuff, when guys or even a blood feud involving the women are involved, why am I going to want to watch it again and again with a whole bunch of stupid shit? When they were doing stuff like involving one weapon, like a table senton, or they involved a chair, or they involved a couple weapon shots here and there, that was fine. But they went into the crowd. So, okay, they went into the crowd. It's personal. Tiffany accidentally mentioned Becky's name. So that led to the TV match, and that led to this rematch. Tiffany was bleeding, making her the victor. If anybody gets that line, I love you guys. And then we get various things. We get some chairs involved. We get implements around the ring, a construction helmet used, a toolbox, a hammer, a wrench, a crowbar. Why? A pile of Barbies in the corner. Or not in the corner, well, actually near the corner. But a pile of Barbies. It's not as stupid as Legos, but it doesn't hurt as much as Legos, at least, but it is as stupid as them. Why are Barbies underneath the goddamn ring? This show was going fairly well to this point. And these women worked hard. They were laying the shit in safely. But then, Jesus. Becky ends up hitting her elbow, damaging her elbow pretty goddamn bad. You saw the pictures on a garbage can shot. There was an extinguisher. And a barbed wire bat. They should have cut everybody up. It was fine when Mick Foley did it. Springboard barricade elbow. This swanton through the table where the table didn't quite break. I laughed at the announcer's table spot because there were little, fun-sized bags of candy on there. I don't know why that made me laugh. Made me think of JR's fruity, delicious, fruity. By God, they're fruity Skittles. And then Tiffany goes for broke, ends up getting hit with a manhandle slam onto a pile of chairs. 1, 2, 3. That was garbage. Just want to say that right now. And then they cut to Mello and Trick. Mello lost his title, Trick has a title, and Mello is staring at that title a little bit too much. I'm going to say again, you don't need to have them go one turn on the other. They're going to have it done. That's disappointing. But, yeah, this is all I have to say. Look, it wasn't a bad show. I'm glad I reviewed it, but really, Elia versus Mello was the highlight. And I appreciate the women for taking risks and everything, but they were unnecessary risks and a lot of stupid weapon spots. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comments. Like, share, subscribe, Twitter handle in the description. I'm John Reckland. No, still not reviewing NXT Weekly. They gotta change a few things. See you soon.